Hey everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast for Friday, December 9, 2016. Welcome to it. A foot of snow? No. 2 to 3 inches. Lake effect is so difficult to predict. Sort of like the return of Christ. Okay, here we go. Isaiah 35, verse 1, 2, and then a few later. The desert and the parched land will be glad. The wilderness will rejoice and blossom. Like the crocus, it will burst into bloom. It will rejoice greatly and shout for joy. Jumping ahead to verse 7. The burning sand will become a pool, the thirsty ground bubbling springs. In the haunts where jackals once lay, grass and reeds and papyrus will grow. God calls upon his people to be visionary, not just visionary with an imagination of what we would do or what we would like, but to see it with the divine imagination of the preferred future that God comes to bring. Advent forces us to wait. We are backed into the corner of waiting, and maybe even a little bit suffering as we're experiencing a dry land, as we're experiencing, sort of the parched soul, and watching the sand that's burning and the jackals that are, haunting and doing their thing. And here we are waiting for God to show up, waiting for Jesus to return. And until then, it requires of us great patience. Divine patience and divine imagination. The patience says, I will wait, we will wait for the Lord. And the divine imagination helps us to see it with God's eyes and to anticipate his healing, his renewal. He will come and make all things right. When Jesus returns, he will bring with him a new heavens and a new earth. And until then, he's bringing the newness to us, to our innards, to our souls, that we can be in a dry and parched land, and yet our souls can be flowing and blossoming and healthy and deep, like deep, deep pools. This is the irony of Advent. We are in one place physically, but sort of realizing that we are in another place spiritually, that we would bring the kingdom with us wherever we go. That's what it's all about. So today's Friday. People are going to be in a little bit more of a jovial mood. They'll be ready for the weekend. How are you doing? Do you see how God wants to renew you and wants to renew the world through you? That's the question I'm asking myself this morning, especially on what was supposed to be a snow day, but it's not a snow day. Life comes, life goes. It seems so predictable, and it really isn't. The one thing we can count on is Jesus. That's Advent. That's RadCast. See you Monday.